Welcome back, everyone, to the LCS Challengers League presented by Subway. I'm Mazel. I'm joined by Hawk yet again, and we're getting right into our second series of the day, the final series of the regular season of spring. It's going to be a fun one. It is Mirage Alliance versus FlyQuest Challengers. They might have opposite side score lines, but Mirage can play absolute spoilers to FlyQuest Challengers.
Oh, yes, sir, they can. All roads lead here. Last place against first place. And you know what? Here in the Challengers League, the beauty of it is this could still be a crazy series. As, Mazel, there are also some stakes here. Fly, they need to 2-0 this one to lock up first seed.
They need to, and I think it would be a point of pride for the FlyQuest organization as a whole to end LCS and NACL in first place after such big overhauls in their developmental structure. And now this all comes down to, can Mirage Alliance put it together one last time and get it on the board against our most dominant team of this entire split, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, FlyQuest, even though they dropped that series yesterday to Supernova, they have been so brilliant the entire split long, particularly. I mean, they've been good everywhere, honestly, but, you know, you want to look at the mid lane quad. He's in the MVP conversation for this split. Shaden has been brilliant. Sajed, the new rookie AD carry. And on the other side, Mirage, you know, it has been a tale of struggle, and they are unfortunately going to the promotion tournament, but as we do look forward to the series, like we highlighted, they have a chance to play spoiler, and they have some pieces that are absolutely worth playing around, particularly in the mid-jungle.
Yeah, very excited to see what Will and RJS can do. I think RJS has had some of the brightest moments on the team. Will has still been on his same drive from last year. This guy will just find kills, find them constantly, but unfortunately unable to close out the game. So that is the ticket today for Mirage Alliance against FlyQuest Challengers. We already all see these first phase bans coming to head. We get the Orianna and the Talia ban by Mirage Alliance on the blue side. FlyQuest Challengers on the red side ban away the Senna and the Ashe.
We talk about the importance of mid lane. Maybe taking out some of those mid laners is going to be the strategy here for Mirage Alliance. RJS saying, all right, everyone else may have failed to do so, but I'm going to skill check this guy. And you know what? He might just be able to if he's able to get into a good matchup as well. And for Sajed and Chime, they don't want to deal with any of those safe bottom laners either. They're removing things like Ashe and Senna. And I do want to point out, Smolder is still up. It was banned every game last series.
You're right. Poppy is the final ban. Smolder's available. You're going to see who wants to grab it. But again, my biggest thing is I love Smolder, but I want to see answers into it. That's why I want to see that meta kind of devolve in that way. We also get the Varus first pick for Mirage Alliance, so Prismal going to be going with that very versatile ADC that we've seen in the meta so far. We'll see what this first couple picks are going to be for FlyQuest as well. There's a lot of powerful ones left on the table. The Karma is one of those. They insta-lock the Smolder too.
And the insta-slammed Varus from Mirage is pretty bold, because they're saying that this is better than either Karma or Smolder, which we have typically seen as first picks when they do come out. And it's not going to be that interesting bot lane counter pick unless we got a weird Varus support or something that you were alluding to for the Smolder. So it's going to be a straight up Smolder going over to Sajed. And I wonder, is Mirage Alliance going to go for something more aggressive, perhaps in support and jungle, to try to just attack the bottom side? Because they do at least have good setup with the Chains of Corruption.
Get the Udyr for Mirage Alliance, so they will have a little bit of side lane pressure. We actually saw Zamudo do a lot of work on that pick last game as well, but I think giving some kind of flexibility of the team fight potential, but as well as side lane pressure, really big for Mirage Alliance to be able to play around. I think Will is the centerpiece that needs to have that consistency. And there you go. We get him at the forward head of the carry potential. The Viego locked in for our spring first arrival, it feels like, in Will.
And this is an early Viego as well. I mean, Will saying, put me on a carry. You have to respect that kind of confidence. This is a player, we said it, worth building around, but what is the answer in top lane for Surdy? Hey, that's not Quacker. That's not Dragoon. That is a Surdy, Darius.
Surdy is always one that's confident. I've been a big fan of this guy for so long, and he knows matchups that he can take advantage of, and he is very much looking forward to this Darius into the Udyr. He's been very vocal in saying he feels like he's the best top laner in the West, even in LCS, and I think we'll see if he can put up to snuff against Alorum, who we've seen as a gatekeeper in the ACL, at least the sub at ACL, and now here in the league itself. That's going to be a tough matchup to play around.
Oh yeah, for many years in Tier 3, Alorum has been the you must be this tall to be able to ride for many, many young top laners. Here in the Challengers League, it's been a bit of a different story because everybody here is tall enough to ride, and that has caused some problems. Surdy, definitely one of those players. He's not only tall enough to ride.
He's too big to ride the ride.
Yeah, he's too big. He was trying to go to LCS. He should have been there. I mean, yeah.
I was gonna say he should have been there. Absolutely, it's something of a known quantity that Surdy and Shaden should have been in the LCS this year, but barring some changes, they are here to run rampant around our league again. As now the bans in the second phase, at least the Alistar and the Braum, so it's a portal focus for FlyQuest Challengers. Right now, the Kindred towards Shaden, but there's still so many carry potential junglers that Shaden can grab that they need to hone in on.
I feel like Alistar Braum bans is like the most Nautilus 4th pick coded draft I have ever seen in my life. We'll see if they go for it. That would mean that Karma is in the mid lane. Now, Karma Smolder is a really solid bot lane in its own right, and it can survive up against the Varus, but nope, there it is.
There it is. You gotta go with it. And also, just combining Quad and Shaden has been so effective, and getting the Karma with the jungle, it's ridiculously ruthless out on the map. Now, couple picks lie in wait here for Mirage Alliance. They go ahead and get the Rel, so some good engage setup for them. But we're looking at what can combine with this Viego and what can RJS play to really support Will.
I gotta see something from RJS. I mean, traditional picks into the Karma, way up and available. We've seen before. I mean, we just saw the Victor last game. It's like playable. I mean, Karma's just one of those very difficult to counter champions in the sense that she is going to have a lot of value no matter what, especially when there's a Smolder and a Darius on her team. And at this point, honestly,
I like
Shaden, pick whatever you want. You've got a great composition already. Good core carries, good supports to go alongside them. Graves, sure, send it. I mean, anything.
Just send it. It's fine. Just get whatever
Yeah.
you want. I think Shaden will gladly do so. Shaden's a guy who last year ran rampant around the league. He also, recently got to watch Kenvi go 16 kills deep on a game on Graves. So he wants his turn to try to make a statement here, and he's going to grab a classic from him in the Graves.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest. This feels like the kind of draft where Mirage Alliance might be happy that it's Fearless because, hey, guys, don't worry. They can't play Karma and Smolder throughout the rest of the series.
True.
I feel like FlyQuest just has so many tools. They have a winning top side, what should be a fairly stable mid matchup into the Jace. I'm actually not exactly sure how this one will go, but I feel like the Karma should be able to survive fairly effectively. And a Smolder that is going to hyperscale into the game. And it, to me, feels like Mirage Alliance really has to blow things open in Will's favor in particular. We've already talked about this player a little bit, and on the Viego, an early pick Viego at that, you have got to get him going and allow him to be a big carry for this game, because otherwise it feels like FlyQuest can just deathball all over this game.
Yep, and Will, a first for him in terms of playing in spring. He has been our summer king, or summer child, rather, at least in the past, but really trying to make it so this year, trying to make this last gasp effort he has been very vocal about. And now is the time to pick up all those kills and show up against what has been one of the most dominant junglers in our league and at this level in Shaden for FlyQuest. Spam who you got in chat. Is it MA for Mirage Alliance or FlyC for FlyQuest Challengers?
I think there is good reason that our top 3 teams have the top 3 junglers in the league. Shaden, Kenvi, and Yuji. I mean, come on. These guys have been on a tear throughout this split. And I feel like Shaden may be the one at the bottom of the MVP conversation.
Which
maybe
is
just because
crazy.
his mid laner is so damn good. I don't know, but he's
But
still
it's
having
just
a great
crazy
split.
that he's there, right? Like, he is such a good jungler, but we've had such a level up and such a step up from the other two as well. It's been an incredible split to be a jungler here at the top levels in the NACL.
Wait, but Mazel, Twitter is telling me that jungle is weak. Hang on.
Or that they
how could
believe
this
in
be?
Will.
Yeah. Hey, I think Will, I mean, he really does have to be the one to step up, and I think there is an avenue for him to be massive this game, because FlyQuest, I will say, their competition is pretty weak really early on in the game, and they don't have a whole lot of setup. So if Mirage Alliance is able to section them apart and go for frequent plays, particularly on the bottom side of the map, do you think that is very much a viable win condition?
Yeah, Shaden gonna have a little bit of strength early, but definitely wants to try to leverage a little bit of that towards the rest of the team. Surdy will also have a good amount of strength early. Gonna try to get those 5 stacks early on here in this top side matchup. But big focus on the zoom out for these two teams. Mirage Alliance already obviously out of playoff contention. They will be in the promotion tournament after the season is over. But that spoiler storyline could still be the case as FlyQuest vying for first place with a 2-0 today.
Yeah, and 2-0 is very important. If it's a 2-1, Maryville will actually have the better game score, and they will be the first seed, and FlyQuest would be the 2. But wait! That's not all. If Mirage Alliance ends up winning the series, FlyQuest actually has a way that they could fall into 3rd place behind Supernova after the loss yesterday. And Mirage would move up to be the 1st seed going into the promotion tournament for potentially dodging out in an unfavorable matchup against someone like, say, Winthrop University that's been tearing it up down there.
Now we actually see level 2 secured in fashion by both sides, but presence at least more priority for Dardoch and Prismal there. Now I'm looking towards the junglers. We got to see how active they can get. And Surdy and Shaden, they're on the roam. I think they don't spot out Will backing in that bush. He will make it out alive.
I feel like Will, as he's recalling there, has like the Metal Gear Solid like exclamation mark coming up over his head. So he sees a man with a shotgun and a very large axe walking into his jungle. It will at least be a blue buff denial here for Shaden. And everybody can just go back to playing their game. Now, this will give Will a potential timer on the bottom side of the map if they wanted to go for something, but I don't think the wave... I mean, it is bouncing away. Maybe there is an angle for a gank here.
It's like we actually just get the trades of the Scuttle Crabs. Oh, there was a move around by Dardoch trying to trade onto Sajed because you want to try to keep down the Smolder early with as much pressure as you can. We see a mid lane as well. Quad winning out on the trades consistently here.
Turns out the Karma and the Jace matchup looking pretty stable.
Oh my god! Quad gets a solo bolo in mid lane.
Okay, well, depending on your definition of stable for the Karma, that might be volatility coming up heads. I don't know, but yeah, the Jace counter not really panning out. Will, he is committing to this bottom side play. It was a super nice trade that actually forced Sajed to base. Chime could be the dive target.
He's going to try to Spider-Man his way out of there, but Will had the angle. He's going to get the stun too, and Dardoch gets another follow-up. Prismal gets the kill. First kill on the board for Mirage Alliance.
Yeah, very nicely done. Okay, they get something back.
He's not level 6 yet, but he's got the bleed! And Surdy with his own solo bolo. Both of the FlyQuest Challengers solo laners flexing on their opponents. But Sajed, he's in some trouble. He wants to get an outplay, but I don't think he's got it. He's just a little dragon. And Prismal gets another kill.
Okay, well, we've got a lot of action in this early game. Mirage Alliance, they're getting boomed in the solo lanes a little bit with the solo kills going down. But we said, hey, play around this bottom lane, section them off and get a lead. And it's not Will that's getting ahead. He does have 2 assists to his name, but Prismal on the Varus, up 10 CS, 2-0, has a Noon Quiver. This is an on-hit Varus.
Oh, Shaden. He's got the angle. The RJS, the root comes down. Quad flashes the hammer slam, and the shotgun to the back seals his fate.
Oh, the Hammer Slammer not able to come down. Quad, this is an MVP caliber mid laner if I've ever seen one. Proving why he has been the guy to beat here in Challengers League. Shaden, shout out to him as well, picking up the assist. Surdy, he's level 6.
Surdy.
He's not done in top.
He knew it was coming preemptively, knowing that minion was going to die to give him the guillotine, and he's about to cut off the head. Oh, he canceled the Q. Oh, Surdy, unfortunate, not going to get the kill, but he does force Alorum out. Shaden taking it full advantage of that timing and getting these grubbies.
You know, feels bad, man, not getting the kill, but I gotta say, I feel like Alorum's feeling a little bit worse. He's not feeling too happy about that, regardless of whether or not he died, because that's going to be a lot of creeps dropped.
Will is just hovering this bot side constantly, as they just need to keep stability down here. This is their win condition now. Will hasn't gotten the goal, but Prismal has.
I mean, this is what you gotta do. When you're down, you've had a rough split, just full send, constant aggression. I love this from Mirage Alliance. Pedal to the metal because, hey, you may as well try. And at the very least, you can learn a thing or two before heading into that promotion tournament. I mean, let's remember, the roster may be different for this Mirage Alliance squad, but this is a team and a couple of players that dominated the qualifiers last time around, and now going into the promotion tournament, I mean, they are going to look to defend their spot. Let's remember, going to the tournament does not mean you get relegated.
Absolutely. You got the chance always. As Dragon is up on the other side of the board. No real focus on that. RJS, though, focusing on top side against 30. 30! Oh, no.
My.
He's going to burn down, but he has some shielding. RJS just here to provide a little bit of moral support for his top laner.
Yeah, and RJS, he's been a bright spot for this team, but so far this game, it has been... it's been a struggle. Going top lane, watching his top laner almost die. He at least is able to help crash the wave, but look at what they're giving up in mid and bottom. It's going to be a dragon start for Shaden as Quad crashes a massive wave. CS advantages are huge, but hey, at least the one in bottom for Mirage is the same.
Dardoch was a little hesitant to go for the full-on engage. Actually connects the very end of that. Sajed burns and dies. Killing spree to Prismal. A couple missed summoner spells there, but Sajed will feel the burn. Will now targeting this dragon. He's in the pit now, too. Will fail the smite. And it's Shaden, though, that's on the other side of that ire of him. Heartbreaker comes through. Blast from Shaden. Shaden might make it out alive. He doesn't. And that's a rampage for Prismal.
Mirage Alliance still has a gold lead. Let's hold the phone. I mean, there might be some people out there that were coming into this series thinking, okay, how fast can FlyQuest Challenger speedrun this one? But so far, through this early game, Mirage Alliance, they are playing around the bottom lane so incredibly well. Now, we'll say...
Oh, no, RJS, he's about to go down, and the guillotine's enough 30, claiming another solo, and he's just running rampant over anybody that approaches his kingdom.
This Darius pick. Yeah, we got some Darius players here in the Challengers League. What else can we say? FlyQuest, though, stopping the dragon stacking, going to be really good for them, because then they can keep playing through these dominating solo lanes and not have to worry as much about fighting on the bottom side of the map for the foreseeable future without any soul stacking to come through. You can see, even with the lane swap, RJS is still getting solo killed, and Alorum still can't lane, forced to base. He's probably going to drop another wave. RJS is at least going to be here to pick up some of them.
I really like that idea, though, right? Like, just trying to change something up, but unfortunately now you're spreading across the losses, and a couple solos to Surdy means that now he's moving up in the world as this Darius. You didn't get the play on bot side that you needed at the moment for Will, so he will reset, but that is still the strength of this Mirage team. At least it's the 4-0 and heavily far in CS, Prismal.
And Prismal is the guy. He has a target on his back now. That's the thing. You're playing Varus, and there's not a whole lot of appeal on Mirage. I think at some point FlyQuest might come to collect.
He's got a 2-level lead on you, Alorum. I don't know if you can even step up to him now. He will literally just chase you down. That dog in him is there, and he's just letting him bleed.
Now, Surdy, no guillotine. Maybe Alorum knew that. He's saying, hey, at least he can't kill me yet. However, Ghost back up, guillotine on the way. I mean, is there even an angle for a tower dive? Shaden is on the bottom side, both junglers around mid.
Will is looking for it. Dardoch has an angle here too, and Quad, he's on the wrong side of town here. And RJS and Will just running him down. They will have the body blocking from Dardoch on the other side of it. Oh no! Quad's just kiting his way out of this one. Will went the wrong way. What? What is happening? Oh my god! The question mark pains abound. Quad makes it out alive and almost just takes down RJS.
Quad just, like, went on a secret agent mission and came out alive. What? Okay, now they're on a Prismal.
Oh, they do get the depth charge at least onto him, but that's Shaden down immediately. I just don't think you can approach this bot lane because Prismal is that far ahead.
Hey, that is definitely reassuring if you're Mirage. FlyQuest, they came to collect.
Sajed, your jungler is coming to kill you. Oh no! The Grave Soul had been taken by Will, and Will gets him. Allura! What? He actually turns it onto Surdy. Craziness happening in a 1K lead for Mirage Alliance.
RJS finally did something. He probably dies for it though, Lennon. Oh, flash.
He's got the play. He's got the teammate, and Quad can't get the kill.
You know, I think this is the kind of game where we say, screw the analysis. This is what we want. We want the blood, baby. It's the last best of 3 of the season, and all bets are off. Surdy, he's feeling strong. He's walking in. Health bar is looking a little chunked for FlyQuest, but I will say RJS well played to him, spacing it out well, getting a lot of damage down. And although the healing is big, Alorum, he may be incredibly weak.
Oh my god.
But at least he can punch the Darius in the face enough times to get the shutdown.
Just keep punching. Eventually it'll break. And that's speaking of another solo bola for Quad. That's 2 solos for both solo laners of FlyQuest Challengers.
I feel like every time we just cut to, the observer cam to a different part of the map, I just hear like a boxing ding, ding, ding go off because it's another round. Fight! Because these teams, nothing held back. Everybody wants to die. 7-5. We are at 1 kill per minute. Quad, yet again, walking into the enemy jungle solo just to try and harass.
And now that we have a little bit of calm before the Dragon starts and the Storm re-kicks up, something I talked to Chime about before coming into the series is what is the leadership direction of this team? And Chime took a lot of it on himself. He said, you know, when we make good decisions around the map, that's partly on me. When we make bad decisions, that's on me. He feels like the real leader, the shot caller of this FlyQuest Challengers team, feels that he should be at an LCS level as a support as well.
Chime is someone that has played at such a high level and now finding Prismal.
Speaking of, he's calling the plays and they're taking him down. Shaden goes ting, ting, ting and gets a ton of gold. Alorum is fighting onto Sajed in the top side, but that's it.
Poor Sajed, the rookie, getting left out to dry a little bit. And, I mean, we're talking about Chime. How about Sajed, though? Even though this game maybe not his best showing, this is a player that I think so similar to Masu last year. For anyone that watched the qualifiers would probably not have said that Sajed was their #1 AD carry for the split. I mean, sure, he had some pretty insane characteristics, right? And you could see that there was a great player inside of him. But the way FlyQuest has brought it out of these AD carries alongside a veteran support like Chime, Masu, first place in the LCS now, and Sajed, potentially first place in Challengers. What a story for both of these players, and Sajed in particular, being able to fill those shoes in such a great way.
And it's something where you look at, you know, the combine in the offseason where he really got a big spotlight put on him, but also just coming into the early season, the team being very flexible around him, letting him play comfort champions, but also making him play towards the meta. And we're going to see Surdy just run down Alorum here again, but it's a system from FlyQuest that has been developed over time, it feels like, and over a short period of time that has led to successes like these stories that we're talking about. Alorum getting run down by Surdy after all that time. That development system is really kicking into gear for FlyQuest.
Shaden was traded on the other side, so a Rift Herald might be able to get started. But, I mean, you talk about development from FlyQuest. This is a team, I think, with the Masu story, and now we're looking at Sajed. They have potential MVPs on their team. They're joining the talent development conversation, I think, in the same way that people look at teams like Team Liquid or 100 Thieves in the past with how they bring up players and really give them a platform alongside veterans to develop and make a name for themselves. It's Prismal.
Oh, Chime! The blue buff is the king! Oh my god, he just saved his life. They will just take the turrets though, and that's going to be a ton of lasting damage. As now the Rift Herald, speaking of lasting damage, is going to charge into that outer tower in the top side and get it from Mirage Alliance.
Yeah, it will be traded top for mid. Everybody's still just going at a breakneck pace this game. We can get another replay at how Shaden, I believe, got picked off, dashing in, trying to find Prismal, but yeah, that's a little too far forward. It's 4v3, but really only a 4v1 as Chime and Sajed not able to walk in. And to finish maybe our conversation about FlyQuest as an organization, I want to point out as well, this will be the first time, if FlyQuest is able to 2-0 here, that they are in first place in the Academy or Challengers League since 2021 summer, and the first time that a team has had both of their LCS and Challengers League teams get first place in the regular season since Cloud9 did it in 2021 spring.
Would be huge, but Mirage Alliance trying to put a stop to that in its tracks. We have first items for everybody here pretty much, and it's looking like a bit of an AP style build for Prismal as well. As Mirage Alliance back on the map here, need to find a little bit of proactivity to get the lead back in their pockets.
I really don't know if I like this from Prismal, but it's spicy, and it's the last series of the season. So go for it, go crazy. He's fed, he can do whatever he wants as long as he does damage, and yeah, I don't hate it at all. And as all the dust settles from this kill per minute early game that we had, FlyQuest up about 1,000. They also have 2 dragons to their name, and let's remember, we also heavily favor their composition as the game progresses. Feels like they have a lot of tools in these team fights. So Mirage, they really want to continue accelerating and try to get the lead back with plays like this.
If they can catch out Sajed, that's big. If they can catch out anybody, that's big. And they're looking at mid lane now as well with all 5 members. They don't have minions. Need to be a little careful. Looks like they wanted Alorum to tank it there, but they can't get it.
Maybe Alorum couldn't see that they didn't have minions because he was smokescreen or something. It is going to be top lane tower traded for the move towards mid. I think Mirage really wanted to try to break the game open.
Oh, Dardoch just going over the wall and over the wall. He goes to get the kill. Prismal actually kills Shaden, so FlyQuest backing off heavily. They can't back off fast enough, though. Clock gets Heartbreaker down to the shutdown to Will.
And Surdy just continuing to push. Great awareness. Mirage Alliance recognizing the 4v5, saying, okay, we need to do something to get this game going. Dardoch, 0 hesitation, flashing in, finds the enemy jungler, and that's a big shutdown for Will. One of our main characters coming out of the draft, 206, 650 gold additional off of Quad. Going to feel very, very good.
And again, this is a guy who hasn't played in our league in spring. He might not be the spring you would want to write home about, but he has consistently shown that he's still at that level in the conversation of an ACL. Even if things are falling apart around him, he consistently finds avenues to get kills and be a carry for his team. And just turning that over to wins is the hardest thing we've seen in his career so far.
Right towards mid. Everybody's here. I think it's just jockeying for positioning around the river. And we saw the toggle of the gold there. Thank you, production. Alorum and Sajed, they're kind of panhandling this game, Mazel, as their lanes were heavily focused in the early game. And they are very, very far behind the curve of this one. Basically, each a completed item in the hole compared to their opposite number. And yeah, it doesn't feel great.
Oh, Will is seeing that there's a ton of bodies his way. There's a little bit of damage back from him. FlyQuest Challengers just looking for something on the map there. They will end up getting the red buff here for Shaden too. Alorum not wanting to sit back on his laurels. He's looking for a side lane push there, but a reset comes through.
The pace of this game has definitely slowed down a lot. I mean, we've had a couple kills back and forth, but in the mid game, it seems like both teams recognizing that the team fights are going to be a lot more important. I think that is a big question for FlyQuest. How do they get Surdy into these fights? Because he is the most fed member on their team, but no teleport, right? So getting the Darius there on time is the mark of something a good team has to do.
Mother! It's not going to do too much. Just back off Mirage Alliance, actually. Oh, yes! He ends up on the wrong side of the fight, and collateral damage brings him down.
Well, Surdy was there on time. They rotated him over to mid, pushed out the wave ahead of Baron.
Wow.
Trying to pick up the enemy mid. Is this just going to be a Nash take at 20?
Wow. Wow. This is insane. FlyQuest Challengers timing is huge. The pickup on RJS. Will's here. 50-50 that baby if he can get in there, but he's not even going to try. And the Baron at 20 minutes goes over to FlyQuest.
I don't think I've ever asked a question as a caster that has gotten answered so fast. Hey, FlyQuest, can you get your super fed top laner into the fight to try to take a game-winning advantage? Oh, yes, Hawk, we can do it almost immediately. Let's force a fight. Let's kill the enemy mid and take a Baron. Well played to them, RJS. We built them up a lot coming into this game. Unfortunately, 1-5-1. Seems like this is just the quad effect at this point.
Quad has consistently been pretty darn amazing this split so far. And on the karma of all things here, I feel like is not his most played, obviously, one other time besides this one for him, where he's been finding a lot of success on the hyper carry mid laners. It's really nice to see kind of that bending of style going into the playoffs for this FlyQuest Challengers roster.
Now setting up on the bottom side of the map. They still have 2 outer towers, or tier 2 towers, can take. They want to at least get those to extend their gold advantage, and they're looking for a fight.
Oh, as soon as they saw Prismal there by himself, they knew they could just go for it, and Prismal, a little bit scared, pulls the Chains of Corruption, but now Chime, he gets caught out because of that CC chain. Here comes damage from Quad. Quad's going to be mantra queuing like crazy, and Will's already gone.
That's one of the main carries of Mirage. One of their strongest members is Prismal. He is the strongest. He's on the run. Surdy, level 14. Look at that health bar.
God, he wants to step up so bad. The wards go over the wall. Surdy, he's looking for the flash play on the Prismal. He knows where he needs to go, and it's for the heads of Mirage Alliance as they fall in between their turrets. FlyQuest are onto the tier 2 in bot lane.
Chopped off by the Noxian guillotine. That's what a Fed Darius is supposed to look like. Lore accurate right there as Surdy diving under the tier 3 tower. Not a care in the world. They're able to balloon that gold advantage. This rally cry Baron buff power play is probably like 4,000 or something like that. Gold extending now to 5.5.
Surdy truly is taking on the moniker of a wolf. He literally set his prey in his sights, and he flashed straight onto Prismal, and now he's got another one in his eyes. He just wants a little bit of meat. He's hungry for the meat. Surdy is a monster!
Yeah. Surdy, a monster is a great way to describe him. 3 levels up. I mean, RJS. He knew he was dead. I mean, Surdy, someone, if you get a chance to talk to him, we had him on Salty Run back last year and did a bit where we talked about top lane matchups and stuff, and this guy knows top lane like nobody else. He just understands the matchups and the way you need to play so well, no matter what champion you ask him about. And I think putting it on full display right here on the Darius, saying, hey, you can blind pick Udyr into me, and I am going to put you 6 feet under regardless.
As soon as I saw the Darius pick, I knew this was going to be the case. He always picks it when he's confident and hasn't picked it that often this split. So you know he's coming out with a big performance here. And now FlyQuest Challengers, they're dotting their I's and crossing their T's. They try to catch out Dardoch here. Dardoch might have an angle, but I think Mirage Alliance need to be a bit careful as FlyQuest feeling very, very confident. And Dardoch needs to feel a little less so. He goes back in. There he is, and Quad's down already. Dardoch sacrificing his life,
Surdy.
but it now trades into more, and Surdy goes for a rampage. He wants more. He's got that ghost pop that he sees. Oh, no! This is literally deja vu! Not again! What the hell have they been feeding Surdy at FlyQuest? Because I gotta get on that meal plan. He is a monster. He is a demon. And he has a quadra kill against Mirage.
He is the one who knocks and haunts Mirage Alliance's dreams. It's going to be a Mountain Soul. It is likely going to be the game going the way of FlyQuest as well. They can't wrap it up just yet, but Surdy has broken open the base as well as the backs of Mirage. I mean, Dardoch, I respect this so much. He knows that they're just going to slowly bleed out. He sees an angle on a 3, and he takes it. The one shot on the quad was brilliant. But the problem is, I don't think it matters if you one-shot anybody other than Surdy, because he is at 1v5 levels of strong at this point, cleaning up the quadra kill as if a tower didn't even exist.
Audience, and whoever's watching, I need you to pay attention to my next words. Get this man in LCS, please. He is dominating our league. He has trashed the top laners in this league as a whole, and he is completely unstoppable in this game. He's now almost on 4 items, 8,000 gold in the lead for FlyQuest Challengers, and they are now about to hit the spike for Sajed as well.
And, you know, this is a pretty 1v9 game, too, from Surdy. This has been a sloppy one, I think, by FlyQuest standards for everyone not named Surdy. And you mentioned he doesn't bring out the Darius often, but it is one that he has in his wheelhouse. I want to point out, he's 9... Oh, hang on, never mind.
Dardoch's trying to go for an engage, but Mother is called again, and the guillotine's already raining hell as RJS falls too. Sajed is hitting those spikes, and this team comp is just flying away.
This time, Sajed, hey, he's finally able to get involved. Remember, there's a Smolder in this game. We wanted to see it earlier, but I think for the first time all series, we might have actually seen it do something. 3v or 2v5. I don't think Mirage Alliance is able to hold Fly.
He needs 5 more stacks. He just needs to get the stacks here. Surdy gets another one.
He's not letting him.
I don't know if he will. He's going to try to get it. Okay, I think he's... Oh, Prismal's denying him the stacks. Oh my gosh, FlyQuest are trying to end the game. I think Prismal's just going to give his life there. Oh, no, I need to see the smolder stacks. Okay, he definitely got it now. Okay, everything's good. FlyQuest have put away the demons of Mirage Alliance in this game, number 1. As the executes start coming through, Sajet has turned into full-grown dragon, and FlyQuest have turned into a 1-0 absolute stomping of Mirage Alliance in this game 1.
And 1 game away from securing first seed in the LCS Challengers League, going towards playoffs. That was a content game, and yet they still ended it in sub 27.
It was an impressive feat. FlyQuest Challengers, they were a little bit brought through the ringer there. Mirage Alliance were not ones to back down. I think we see what Mirage Alliance has had consistently through this year. Will is able to find leads. Prismal actually got facilitated towards a lot, but then the breakdown comes in the mid game, in the late game. We'll see if they can pull it back and be that upset machine here, or if FlyQuest fly their way to a first place finish. We'll be back.
Introducing the new foot-long sidekicks at Subway. Try the warm and delicious foot-long cookie, foot-long pretzel, or foot-long churro.
For sure, it's going to be Kaisa, because that's been my day 1 champ. Ever since the champ came out, I've been one-tricking it, and I just like the champ a lot.
Maybe a Lucian skin. I really like Lucian, and he's got some cool skin, so Lucian skin for sure.
I would probably choose Fiora or Yone, actually. Something like my name in the recall, something like that. Some way to like be immortalized inside of the game.
I mean, for sure, Graves. I think any jungler would say Graves. If I had to be different, no, I'm taking Graves all the way. Graves is already like representing, but like it don't need to do no more. Just keep everything the same. Keep it like a pool party scene. You know what I'm saying? Keep it like a pool party scene.
I mean, off the top of my head, a few of my signature champs, I guess, are like the Tryndamere, the Akshan, the Yone, maybe a little bit of Vigar from last year. I feel like not many people play those champs. I would go with Yone because he's really popular, so I would see like a bunch of people using my skin basically. It would feel pretty cool.
I'll choose Wukong because I like monkeys. You know, there's the meme with the gorilla spinning. That's, people say it's the Wukong ult, something like that. He spins in like a really funny way. Maybe if they do it like that.
I would have to choose Tristana because she's my most played champion, and I feel like it can make a cool animation with the explosions, especially with like the rock boom, you know. So there could be something special with that.
Who is my biggest supporter? It's definitely Joshi, because even when I was like super fresh, he was still like putting me in like all pro teams for some reason, even when I was inting. So I'll shout out or say he's my biggest supporter.
Hell yeah.
Definitely my girlfriend. She watches all the games. She's in the Twitch chat all the time. Maybe you've seen a suspicious looking name there, but yeah, shout out to my girlfriend.
I would say my biggest supporter is my dad. He watches like all my matches. When I went to like try to go pro, I was working with him, and he was like, just quit, you know, because I was useless, and also because he wanted to like see me go pro.
Definitely my dad or my cousin, Ryan. And my dad watches all my games, so like that's all you gotta do, you know.
My biggest supporter would definitely be my family, especially my brothers too. They're the reason I play this game. They're the reason I've been so dedicated to this game. And they've always pushed me to be better, so I love my brothers for that. And then my parents, mom and dad, always helping me out.
My dad was always there to say like, you know, like as long as you're gonna try your best and you want to do what you want to do, like I think it's good for you. And he's always been the guy to sort of like talk to my parents about letting me try my options out. So yeah, definitely my dad.
Definitely have to be my parents. They've enabled me to do a lot of things I wouldn't have been able to do without them. And the reason that I'm still playing is because of them. So just the opportunities they give me. It's as simple as that. I wouldn't be in the same place I am now if I wasn't set up for success.